This is a video about a unique trading indicator known as MACD Support and Resistance by ChartPrime. It's a tool that you can use to dynamically map out potential support and resistance zones on your chart, all powered by the good old MACD. We're going to go over what this indicator is and how you can use it in your trading. If you happen to find value in this video, remember to leave a like. Now, to get started with this indicator, you first of all want to go to TradingView, the trading platform that I'm going to be using. If you need to sign up, there's a link in the video description for you to do that. Next, you want to load up your favorite chart, any time frame, any security, and click on Indicator, then type in MACD Support and Resistance. It's going to be this one by ChartPrime. Go ahead and click that to add it to your chart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the all-powerful MACD Support and Resistance by ChartPrime. So what's it all about? Well, it's a super handy indicator that takes MACD crossover signals and uses them to automatically find and plot recent price highs and lows, turning them into potential support and resistance levels right on your chart. So when you first load it up, you're going to see a few key things. Right on your price chart, you'll start seeing these horizontal lines pop up. These are your dynamic support and resistance levels. Support levels are typically shown in one color, maybe blue, and resistance in another, like orange. Then down below your main price chart, you'll have a full MACD display. This isn't just any MACD. It's got the MACD line, the signal line, and they're both color-coded to show you the current momentum. There's also a filled area between the MACD and signal lines, which really helps you see the strength or weakness of the momentum. The wider the gap, the stronger the push. And super importantly, you'll see these little diamond markers appearing on the MACD display every time the MACD line crosses its signal line. These diamonds are key because they signal when the indicator is looking to plot a new support or resistance level. Finally, still on that lower MACD panel, you'll notice two lighter lines, a local high line and a local low line. These are based on the MACD's highest and lowest values over the last 100 bars, giving you a sort of dynamic range or envelope for the MACD itself. Next, let's peek into the settings, though for this particular indicator, the description doesn't really point to many user-facing tweaks for the core S&R generation logic itself, as it's pretty automated. The main things you can usually adjust with MACD-based indicators are the MACD's own parameters, like the fast length, slow length, and signal smoothing. The description mentions it uses standard MACD, so you could experiment with those if you're an advanced user, but the default settings are often a good starting point. The S&R levels themselves are dynamically generated and managed by the script, like keeping only 20 active levels and removing them if price breaks decisively through. The colors for the S&R lines, MACD lines, and the diamond markers might be customizable in the Style tab, so you can set those to your preference. For now, we'll stick with the defaults as they seem pretty clear. Now, let's talk about how we're going to use this MACD support and resistance indicator. The core idea is to use these automatically generated support and resistance levels as key areas to watch. For a bullish setup, you might be looking for price to approach a support level that was recently plotted after a MACD bullish crossover. That's when the MACD line crosses above its signal line, and you'd see a diamond marker. The indicator would have looked at the last 5 bars right after that cross and plotted support at the lowest low in that little window. So you'd watch for price to come down to this blue support line. You could look for price to bounce off this level, maybe confirming with some bullish price action, like a strong candle close, and then consider a long entry. Your stop loss could go below that support level or below the recent swing low. For a bearish setup, it's the opposite. You'd be looking for a resistance level, maybe an orange line, that was plotted after a MACD bearish crossover. MACD line crossed below its signal line, again with a diamond marker. The indicator would have scanned the last 5 bars after that bearish cross and picked out the highest high to draw that resistance line. So if price rallies up to this orange resistance line, you'd be watching for it to stall or reverse. If you see bearish price action confirming the rejection, that could be your cue for a short entry, with a stop loss placed above the resistance or the recent swing high. The fact that these levels are automatically removed if price closes decisively through them is super helpful because it keeps your chart clean and focused on levels that are still being respected. And those local high and low lines on the MACD, you can use those to gauge if the MACD itself is getting overextended or staying within its recent typical range, which can add another layer of context to your momentum reading. For instance, if MACD is pushing its local high line as price approaches a resistance level, it might suggest strong momentum that could break through, or it could be a sign of an exhaustive move. In summary, the MACD support and resistance by ChartPrime is a pretty clever tool that blends momentum analysis from the MACD with market structure by automatically identifying and plotting key support and resistance zones. It helps you see where recent turning points have occurred right after a momentum shift, and it keeps your chart tidy by removing levels that are no longer in play. The visual cues like the diamond markers and the color-coded MACD make it easy to follow along. Now, it's really important to remember that this is not financial advice. The strategy ideas we talked about are based purely on this indicator. For actual trading, you should always consider adding your own price action analysis, fundamental analysis, or other confluences to make more informed decisions. If you found value in this video, remember to leave a like. Or, even better, consider subscribing to stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you next time.